All right, so I have. Oh, let me switch to the webcam. So I have no plan with this at all. I just kind of wanted to, kind of, I guess, I guess I just kind of wanted to record my progress as far as C++ goes and like education goes. So I just feel like it'll hold myself accountable and just allow me to kind of understand the concepts more by explaining, if that makes sense. So I really just know the basics of C++. I know the ideas of the things that you can do in the language. Like, I know you can create all kinds of advanced applications, softwares, um, games, all that kind of stuff. And right now, what's interesting me the most is games. Really interested in game development. I've got a little bit of experience in JavaScript. I just know the basics, HTML, CSS. Like I said, just know the basics of C++. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to record this so that I can explain concepts as I'm going, because I feel like it'll just kind of help me out. Um, and yeah, I have no plans with this. I just kind of want to hit record whenever I think about hitting record. Post every day, every week. I don't know. I don't know yet. This is all just kind of new to me. And I'm just trying to dip my toes in the water, get some projects um, under my belt, and hopefully get some sort of job in the future. Yeah, I don't know. It's really fun. But right now, like I said, just know the basics of C++. I've already started this project, so I'm kind of just going to dive like right into it. Right now, I'm just kind of trying to make some sort of Pong game, um, just for a basic understanding of how to open a window, how to show graphics to the screen. But so I decided that I'm going to be using, after a lot of research, extensive research that took a long time. I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of it didn't make sense to me. A lot of different answers I got, but I ultimately landed on SFML. As far as I know, like it's pretty easy from what I've been told. Doesn't seem easy, but I'm gonna learn it. C++ wasn't easy. JavaScript wasn't easy whenever I was trying to learn it. I'm gonna learn it, and yeah, I don't know. Uh, I wanted to kind of start making my own engine, but a lot of people will definitely, they said like, hey, don't do that. It's gonna take too long. It's too complicated. Blah 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 blah. Now in the future, I want to do that. Create like not some massive engine, just some small engine, maybe to run some crappy FPS game or like 2D game or something. But for right now, just to kind of understand some advanced logic, I'm just gonna be working with SFML, which is a library, a GUI library, I think is like technically what is considered. I don't know. I just know that it makes game development a lot easier. Ignore the notifications down here. Yeah, so I don't know. Let's get into it. I use ChatGPT a lot right here, as you can see. I use it a lot, just so that it's kind of like a teacher for me. So I don't use it for answers. I use it for, you know, like I said, just like a teacher. Like sometimes, like if I'm super stumped, I'll ask for some sort of answer. I try not to, but after I get the answer, I ask questions and try and understand. But yeah, ChatGPT has been a really big help to me. But yeah, right now I'm just kind of reading this right here. I've been reading this just so that, I don't know, I could kind of learn. Now some of these videos might be kind of quiet, might be kind of boring. Like I said, this is just for documentation purposes and just to kind of hold myself accountable. So yeah, let's get into it. Um, so I just kind of learned how to open up a window right here. So if we look here, so I created the main function, obviously. I included SFML, which was a whole, not beast, but more complicated than I feel like it should be. Um, Then you have to create the class, the instance from the class, and then inside of that instance, you give it the parameters. Video mode, which actually creates the black screen or the window, and then you specify the dimensions of it, and then the name of the window. And then you also have to do this thing called event. You have to declare an event instance. And what this does basically is it's kind of like the holder variable kind of for a it's like the holder variable for events. So like right here, if I were to just have this and like just run that basically and just return 0, like I'm pretty sure just like the window would open and then instantly close. That's because like it doesn't know like really like to stay open. So you have to run some sort of like infinite loop. And so you have to say like while the window object is open. This is an SFML library thing right here. This is SFML. While it's open, and then inside of the while loop, you also need a loop to handle the event. So poll event basically checks for the for like the next event in the queue kind of. So like if I were to have this set as like e.type equals SF or the namespace event namespace closed, or like if it were like mouse left click or something, that E would equal left click. So like if I were to click left click, then like something would happen, you know? So that's what that is. And then it's saying right here, if the type of the event is closed, which means like I click the X, then it does close. It closes the window. So from here, I don't really know where to go. But F it, we ball. The above code will open a window and terminate when the user closes it. Let's see how it works in detail. First, we added a loop that ensures the application will be refreshed/updated until the window is closed. Most, if not all, SFML programs will have this kind of loop, sometimes called the main loop or game loop. Then the first thing we want to do inside our game is check for any events that occurred, which is this. No. Yeah, it's this. Yeah. We check if anything has occurred, and then note that we will be using a while loop so that all pending requests are processed in case there were several. The poll event function returns true if an event was pending, or false if there was none. Whenever we get an event, we must check its type, window closed, key press, mouse move, joystick connected, and react accordingly. If we're interested in it, in this case, we only care about the event closed event, which is triggered when the user wants to close the window. At this point, the window is still open. We have to close it explicitly with the close function. This enables you to do something before the window is closed, such as saving the current state of the application or displaying a message. Mistake that... Wait, let me read this. This enables you to do something before the window is closed, such as saving the current state of the application or displaying a message. I don't know what this loading thing is, but all these notifications. A mistake that people often make is to forget the event loop simply because they don't yet care about handling events. They use real-time inputs instead. Without an event loop, the window will become unresponsive. It is important to note that the event loop has two roles. In addition to providing events to the user, it gives the window a chance to process its internal events too, which is required so that it can react to move or resize user actions. It is important to note that the event loop has two roles. In addition to providing events to the user, it gives the window a chance to process its internal events too, which is required so that it can react to move or resize user actions. Okay. So I'm wondering, are you always going to have a while loop? So while the window is open, check for all the events. I feel like you're always going to have a while loop, which is kind of wild, with all the other stuff nested inside of it. Okay. Anyways. After the window's been closed, the main loop exits and the program terminates. Window.close. and then we return 0 afterwards. Okay. At this point, you probably noticed that we haven't talked about drawing something to the window yet. As stated in the introduction, this is not the job of the SFML window module, and you'll have to jump to the SFML graphics tutorial, which will probably, I don't know, we might get into it. I have about 25 more minutes left today. I try to also, kind of side note, I try to study for about an hour to an hour and a half a day. On the weekends, I try to study for a little bit longer than that. Normally, I go to the gym, come home, study for about 30 minutes at least, and then I go to jiu-jitsu, come back, study some more till about like 10:30, then go to work or go to bed, then I get some rest time before bed, chill out before bed, can't let the brain get fried too much. Go to work the next morning and then rinse and repeat. Come home, then go to the gym, study, jiu-jitsu, study, relax a little bit, repeat. Now, the weekends is a little different. I try and study a little more, but yeah, I mean, this is all just extra stuff before I go off to school in the fall, and I'm hoping I can get there with a little more experience than everyone else. So, anyways, okay. As stated in the introduction, this is not the job of the SFML window module, and you'll have to jump to the SFML graphics tutorial if you want to draw things such as sprites, text, or shapes. Sprites. What is a sprite? I already looked it up, but I want to re-look it up. So, sprite encoding. So, it's just this. A sprite is just like, it's just like that. That's a sprite. Okay. So, I'm not trying to do a lot of art. Anyways, such as sprites, text, or shapes. So I heard that SFML is really good for 2D graphics, for 2D like games and stuff, which is like perfect. I'm not trying to do a lot of art and stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I eventually want to create like a mock, like 2D top-down view of a game. And the game that I have in mind right now is I play a lot of Destiny 2. At least I used to whenever I had time. And I want to remake a raid in, like, obviously I can't sell it because Bungie owns the rights and all that stuff. But I want to, just for projects, just to put under my belt for my projects and just let it be known out there that I made this. I want to recreate one of the raids in that way. Like either King's Fall, I don't know if anyone knows this, either King's Fall, Vault of Glass, I just feel like that'd be pretty sweet. And just like, I kind of already know how those work. I know how they work like extensively, but yeah, I feel like that'd be sweet. Anyways, to draw stuff, you can also use OpenGL directly and totally ignore the SFML graphics module. SF window internally creates an OpenGL context and is ready to accept your OpenGL calls. Wait, what? Do I need to? What is OpenGL? I've already looked it up. So do I already? Is OpenGL? I've already looked some of this stuff up. Automatically installed when I install SFML. Hello, I'm confused as to what exactly OpenGL is and how to use it. I understand. Oh, dude, instead of looking at all this, hold on. Where's my ChatGPT? When do I need to install OpenGL separately? I misspelled that. Separately from SFML? No. SFML already includes OpenGL as part of its rendering backend. When you install SFML, it handles the OpenGL dependencies internally, allowing you to use SFML's simplified interface for graphics programming. That means where you make it easier to create applications with graphics. So when you use SFML for your graphics programming, you're effectively utilizing OpenGL without the need for separate installation. Okay, so OpenGL is already installed. Don't expect to see something interesting in this window. You may see uniform. Yeah, let's run that really quick, make sure it's working. Here we go. Yeah. So I don't know how to color the window yet. I'm sure it'll teach me how to do that. Don't expect or okay. Of course, SFML allows you to play with your windows a bit. Basic window operations such as changing the size, position, title, or icon are supported, but unlike dedicated GUI libraries, SFML doesn't provide advanced features. SFML windows are only meant to provide an environment for OpenGL or SFML drawing. So, change the size of the window, set title. Wait, what? Okay. Why are they doing this? Can I just do size equals? What does that mean? Anyways, I don't think I really need to know this right now. Unless, I mean, this is for like if I want to like build some sort of app and I open it and like I wanted to open some. I mean, I don't know. It's just what I'm guessing I can use with that right now. Um. Anyways, you can refer to the API documentation for complete documentation for a complete list of Windows functions. I'll do that later. In case you really need advanced features for your window, you can create one or even a full GUI with another library and embed SFML into it. To do so, you can use the other constructor or create function which takes the OS specific handle of an existing window. In this case, SFML will create a drawing context inside the given window. Wait, in case you really need advanced features for your window, you can create one, even with another library. Oh, okay, I see. So what does handle do? Oh, wait, no. What does window handle do? Let's look that up. Did I close ChatGPT? What was it called again? Window handle do in or SFML. Is it type? Oh, I see. Ah, I see. It's like whenever you're using something. Okay. It's like type definition. All right. Bet. If you just want an additional very specific feature, you can also do it the other way around. Create an SFML window and get its OS specific handle to implement things that SFML itself doesn't support. I don't really know why I would need that, but anyways. Integrating SFML with other libraries requires some work and won't be described here, but you can refer to the dedicated tutorials, examples, or forum posts. That's another thing that I was thinking about is buying some sort of course, but I want to just give a free course like this. This isn't really a course, but like free tutorial thing. Like for right now, I just kind of want to give that some a try before I start spending money. I was looking at this one. I forgot the name of it. I sent it to myself on the phone. Let me see right now. Pretty sure I sent it to myself. Okay, so I didn't send that one, but someone on Reddit commented it to me, and it's like a 2D one. It's like $60, which isn't bad at all. But like, I just wanted to give a free one a shot first, anyways. Sometimes when your app runs fast, you may notice visual artifacts such as tearing. The reason is that your application refresh rate is not synchronized with the vertical frequency of your monitor, VSync, and as a result, The bottom of the previous frame is mixed with the top. Open that, make sure you guys are seeing it. Sometimes when your application runs fast, you may notice there's in refresh rate, okay. And as a result, the bottom of the previous frame is mixed with the top of the next one. Okay. The solution to this problem is to activate VSync. It is automatically handled by the graphics card and can easily be switched on and off. So if I run this, I'm going to set this over here just so I can look at it while I'm typing. What does it say? Window.set v for, I mean, I'm pretty sure I could just do this right here, right? Window. I mean, I'm not going to be able to tell anyways, but I'm pretty sure I could just set it right there. After this call, your application will run at the same frequency rate as the monitor's refresh rate. In other situations, you may also want your application to run at a given frame rate instead of the monitor's frequency. This can be done by calling set frame rate limit. Unlike VSync enabled, this feature is implemented by SFML itself using a combination of SF clock and SF sleep. An important consequence that is that it is not 100% reliable, especially for high frame rates. Sleep's resolution depends on the underlying operating system and hardware, and it can be as high as 10 or 15 milliseconds. Don't rely on this. All right. So I'm just not even going to mess with that for right now. Things to know about Windows. Here's a brief list of what you can and cannot do with SFML Windows. You can create multiple windows. Oh, shoot. Y'all are just looking at nothing. I'm right here. Things to know about Windows. Here's a brief list of what you can do. You can create multiple windows. It allows you to create multiple windows and to handle them either all in the main thread or each one in its own thread. But see below. In this case, don't forget to have an event loop for each window. Okay. Multiple monitors are not supported yet. Nope. Events must be pulled in the Windows thread. What does that mean? Oh, never mind. I get what that means. It's like the poll event function that was ran, or I think it's a function. Let me see what it actually calls it. I think that's a function. Yeah, it's a function. Yeah, it's a function. It's a construct. Okay. This is an important limitation of most operating the event loop, more precisely the poll event or wait event function. There's a wait event. What? Must be called in the same thread that created the window. This means that if you want to create a dedicated thread for event handling, you'll have to make sure that window is created in this thread too. If you really want to split things between threads, it is more convenient to keep event handling in the main thread and move the rest rendering physics logic to a separate thread instead. This configuration will also be... Okay, thread. What is that? Dude, I keep on closing ChatGPT. What is a thread when coding? And then here is an example. And I'll say keep it short. Keep it short. Encoding a thread is a sequence of instructions that can be executed independently of other parts. It allows you, meaning multiple tasks can be performed. In the example provided, it's discussing the limitation that event handling functions must be called in the same thread that created a window. So if you want to handle events, you also need to create the window in that thread. How do I know they are in the same thread? I'm thinking like a separate file, but I don't think that is. How do I check this? Can I just like right click somewhere in Studio? Can like right click and Visual Studio and just like see the thread or no? You can debug and inspect threads during runtime. While debugging, you can pause execution. Okay. feel like that's a I mean, I'll do that. Like that can be like a future thing. Like if I want to create something super high tech. On Mac OS, windows and events must be managed in the main thread. Yep, that's true. Mac OS won't agree if you try to create a window or handle events in a thread other than the main one. Good thing I'm on Windows right now. Now, whenever I go off to college, I might be using what's it called a little more Mac, just because that's my laptop that I use, and I'll be off away from home a lot. So, anyways, on Windows, a window which is bigger than the desktop will not behave correctly. That's a given. So, is there like a link to the next one? Events explained. Okay, so I think I'll hit this tomorrow. Or no, I'll get into it a little bit right now before I start trying to get... I'll do like 5 minutes of this. It describes them and shows how to and how not to use them. Event type. Before dealing with events, it is important to understand that the SF event type is and how to correctly use it. Event is a union, which means that only one of its members is valid at a time. Remember your C++ lesson. All the members of a union share the same memory space. The valid member... Holy crap, I'm tired. The valid member is the one that matches the event type. For example, event.key for a key press event trying to read any other member will result in an undefined behavior, most likely random or invalid values. It is important to never try to use an event member that doesn't match its type. Okay. Instances are filled by the poll event or wait event. So does it create an instance every single time something's clicked? Huh. Only these two functions can produce valid events. Any attempt to use an SF event, which was not returned by successful call to poll event, will result in the same undefined. To be clear, here's what a typical event loop looks like. While window.poll event, switch, check the type of event, event.type, case, closed, window closed, break. Key pressed, break. How does that compare to this? So it starts a while and then switch. Cool. Now, also, while I'm coding, I honestly will I might get a book for this. There was one that someone sent me that I need to buy, but I'm pretty sure I can just look this up. I'm going to be looking up the syntax for some of these things, like on ChatGPT or whatever, just because I still haven't completely memorized it. Now, like if statements, while statements, all that stuff, I've got that down. But like as far as like whenever it comes to like the switches and stuff like that, and like classes and enumerators, I haven't quite got those down exactly yet, but that's what the projects are for. Those will help me get those down. So yeah. So like switch. So it checks the type of event, event.type, case. Okay, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. This makes sense right there. All right, now we can see what events it supports. Honestly, we might get into this tomorrow. I might record it tomorrow. I don't know yet. If I don't record like on days, I'll explain like what I've been doing in like the next video or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of wanted to post it. I might put music on in the background whenever I start actually doing more of this. Yeah, I mean, this is probably going to be pretty boring, but like I said, it's just to, start getting this stuff down. But I mean, yeah. Anyways, let's do what I've done. Create a Git repository. And what I do like about Visual Studio, so I've used VS Code for JavaScript. Let me see. So I've used VS Code for JavaScript and stuff like that, and it's way more easy than Visual Studio. Visual Studio is a pain in the ass. But one thing I do like about this, I don't know if you can do it in VS Code because I always just did it from the terminal in my Linux virtual machine, is that you can just create gets wherever she's at. Where's she at? I know it's up here, but I know you can also just right click it. Maybe not. Maybe I'm tripping. But you can create Git repositories. Right here. Create Git repository. Like, I really like this. I really like this. And I'll add a README and I'll fix that over there. We'll call it Pong name, description. First Pong or first game practice. Pong. Cool. Create and push. Wait. Cancel. Let me save this. Make sure it's saved. Redo all that again. First game practice. Pong. Lots of typos. Add a README. This will work. Actually, yeah, this will work. Pushed it. Now should see it right here pop up. Popped up. Sweet. That's it. I think that's it for today. Might hit record tomorrow. I'm not doing jiu-jitsu tomorrow, so I'll be able to study for a little bit longer. Video might be longer, might be 30 minutes. I might just click record in the middle of it. I don't know. I'm going to throw some music on in the background, probably find some copyright-free music. And, yeah. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll do this a lot more.